Hello there! It's time for some old Soviet tech. In this video, I will build a Soviet supersonic fighter interceptor, the MiG-23P. For this build, I choose the 1:72 scale Kovozávody Prostejov kit. Basically, it's a rebox of the 2011 RV aircraft kit. Let's check it out. Moldings are made out of soft light-gray plastic. There are visible panel lines, small details and rivets. They look quite decent. Details of the cockpit are also decent, but I will upgrade it anyway. As you can see, the moldings offer to build more than one version of the aircraft, but I will stick to the interceptor version. Unfortunately, the air-to-air missiles are missing. The Kovozávody Prostejov kit offers a correct front fuselage pod and air intake for the перехватчик version. The clear parts are too thick for my taste. At least they are free from scratches and imperfections. The instruction manual is simplified. You can read from it that there is no instruction how to paint the jet exhaust, landing gear and more small details. On the last page of the instruction manual is a technical stances placement guide. The paint scheme of this kit are placed at the back of the box. That is very typical for the Kovozávody Prostejov brand. All paint schemes are colored in the standard Soviet 80s camouflages. The waterslide decals look decent. I hope for the best, they are good quality. Looks like an interesting kit. Okay, let's build this Flogger. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell for not missing any new notifications. During the whole build, I will use Fuselage metal parts from Edward. They are designed for the old Zvezda or Italeri kits, but I can live with that. Since I decided to use Fuselage metal parts, some of the details must go. The ejection seat is a little bit off anyway. It's too wide in some places. I removed the details with a grinding tool and a flat file. The seat is wide in some places. I carefully cut off the unnecessary parts and smooth the cuts out. Luckily, the plastic is soft, so the work is very pleasant. Let's begin with the modification. For this work step, I take my time and work very slowly. I had to glue like 14 metal pieces to it. The Fuselage metal parts are quite handy for this kit. Most of the fit is very good, so I tried to use as many as the Kovozávody Prostejov kit allows me to. There is also offer to modify the jet exhaust turbine, so why not? The modified parts are ready for the paint job. Let's give them a proper primer coat. I still don't have the correct blue-green interior color in my stash, but it's not a big problem to create this color shade by mixing sky blue, cobalt blue and bright green. I look at the pictures of the exhaust pipe and they are in a bright green color. The KM1 injection seat is painted with Mr. Color C11 light cal grey. After airbrushing, I paint the details with a thin paintbrush. The small details are instrument indicators, warning lights, switches and push buttons. On the ejection seat I painted the seat belts, metal buckles and the ejection handles. After I finished with painting the small details, I gave the cockpit and jet nozzle parts a proper metallic dry brush. Let's seal the paint job with a glossy varnish coat. This time I will use oil washes from MiG-23P. The washer's drying time is 15 minutes, but if you want to, you can remove it right after applying. My goal is to let the wash be visible in the small details and not over the whole cockpit. I take a dry cotton bud and carefully remove the excessive wash. Now to the assembly. The cockpit top sits very tight and its fit is not the best. For a stronger bond, I had to use superglue. As usual, I glue additional weight in front of the fuselage. Next, I assemble the jet exhaust nozzle. Everything went slightly okay, until I came to the fuselage assembly. The fit is very bad. I had to use clamps to keep it together. The other bad news is the main fuselage fit and the swept wings attachment. Both fuselage halves don't fit together. Let me show you. I must deal with this problem before the paint job. There will be a lot of sanding, rescribing needed. The same problem is also on the other side of the fuselage. And the fit between the front and the main fuselage parts could be better. There is that big gap showing. Lots of putty will be needed. But the worst part and the big disappointment is the wings attachment. There is no symmetrical mechanism, the pegs are too shallow, and the wings don't stay in position. I can't simply wave them like bird wings. So what to do? I have two options: glue the wings in a 72-degree angle or in a fully spread out 16-degree angle. I chose the 16-degree angle. It's been a while since I did a drastic decision with a model like this. It's a big flaw in the kit design, but no matter. Let's keep on building. This kit doesn't have any enterings for the jet engine. I simply paint the areas with a black paint. Before I can glue the air intakes to the fuselage, I need to fill all gaps with putty. The jet exhaust nozzle part doesn't fit so much, so more putty filling. I will deal with this problem later. Next, I glue the vertical and horizontal stabilizers. The radar cone is a little bit big. I must remove some plastic and sand it down to fit the fuselage part. For this work step, I use a hobby knife and a knife file. Now that's much better. Now I sand down the putty on the air intakes and glue them to the fuselage. Let's glue some additional exterior details. As I said, I'm glad that the Eduard metal parts come in handy. Before I can continue with the metal parts, I rather fill those ugly gaps with putty. This way, I get rid of all the ugly imperfections, and after sanding, I can focus on small details in peace. Okay, that's enough for this video. In the second part I will continue on modifying the model with more details, paint the camouflage and play with the weathering. Stay in touch. Until then, bye guys.